What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Pink Tourmaline. Happy Friday. We are back to the regular live stream, regularly scheduled live stream, 6 p.m. PST on a Friday. And it is July 17th, exactly 1 month from my birthday. You guys may or may not know, but I love the number 17. What's up, Paul Wallace? What's up, everybody? And I thought today would be a great day to kind of recap some of the big events from the channel in the last week, namely the Isabella Greene interview, which I thought was, for me, it was incredible just to get to ask her everything I got to ask her. Plus, reading Transcending the Trap. That was also, man, you guys got to read that book. Hey, Zeus, what's up, bro? Welcome to the live stream. I'm good, man. I'm good, Krishna, doing my thing. Jen H, good to see you as well. Jen, I think I've seen some of your comments on some of the videos, but I'm not sure you've been to a live stream before. I could be wrong about that. I apologize if so. Eric Lopez, great interview, right? Wasn't that such a good one? Dude, it was so good. Nico, hi, everyone. Yes, made it. What's up, Sasvad? Welcome. Yeah, I know that Tony Sayers commented on the video. I've been chatting with him as well on Instagram, and I know he's not a big fan of the Kundalini stuff in particular, and how that has been wrapped into Isabella Greene's message. And I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out everything. I understand that what he's saying is that it references serpent energy. I think she responded to that and said, well, that's just what was made as an analogy. And then it has nothing to do with serpent energy. It's just more of where it emanates from. I don't know. I'm still trying to find the truth. I would say that I said this before from my standpoint, even just watching interviews of Isabella and now after getting to know her and talking to her directly, to me, she feels very sincere and very authentic and very honest, but we can all make mistakes. We can all get stuff wrong. Is she right about that? Is she wrong about that? I don't know, but that's where I'm at right now. So I'm still trying to figure out everything. I appreciate, and Tony's been so cool with me and messaging me back. He's the one that connected me with Howdy McCoskey. I really appreciate Tony, the fact that he is approaching everything with a really trying to be really have a discerning eye, skeptical eye. And, this is what's going to happen sometimes because there's so many lies and deceptions and trickery out there. I think we have to be on guard and on the defensive a lot of times. And, so it is what it is. Just wanted to say that straight up, that I get his perspective. I also get where Isabella's coming from, and we're all just trying to figure this out together. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But let me just say that I thought the interview had so much good stuff in it, so many amazing things, and that book was amazing as well. Jesus says, yes, great interview for sure. Guys, give me give me about 10 seconds. I just got a delivery. Sorry, it got here right while I started the stream. I'll be back. Give me 15 seconds. I'm here. Just going to my front door. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, I just got one of my favorite things, which is it's called a super bone broth. It's from this grocery store called Erewhon. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but there's a bunch of them in LA. It's kind of really a ripoff in a lot of ways, but this is one thing that they make that I think is not a ripoff. I think it is just so packed with good stuff and nutrients, and yeah, it's amazing, especially because these live streams always tire out my voice, so I thought it was great to have during the live stream. Sirius says, howdy. So I went on the live stream of yours a few weeks ago. Okay, cool. Well, welcome back. Sayers is going to expose her, says Robert Brown, talking about Isabella Greene. Yeah, I mean, look, Tony Sayers is on a quest, I think, for uncovering truth and knowledge and information, and hopefully all of us together will figure out exactly where the truth lies. I believe it is eventually possible. It's just, I think the powers that be make it very difficult. A lot of deception out there, unfortunately. Las Vegas, Nevada. What's up? I love it. I love Vegas. I need to go actually this summer. Yo, what's up? Peace and blessings, family. What's up? Hey, what's up, Matt? Welcome. He's a weirdo. I don't know. I'm not sure who Jesus you're referring to. I love listening to you. and I got confirmation on the simulation trap, especially in a video describing the Gnosticism and apocryphy of John. I want to send it to you. Send it to me. Okay. You can send stuff to me on Instagram. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you my Instagram. And I know some of you guys have sent me messages, and I need to still look at the content that you sent me. I'm just have a lot of emails and Instagram messages that I need to review and get back to you guys on. Also, Isabella sent me a video that I still need to review. Hopefully I'll be able to do it tomorrow on the channel. But yeah, there's my Instagram at Pink Tourmaline Huzefa. So go ahead, add me there, send me a message there. And that's a great way to get in touch with me. Michael Stafford, great interview. I watched it. So hell yeah. Thank you. I've been watching it multiple times too. There's just a lot of information. It's very tightly packed. And I think what she does a really good job of in that book is blending together all these different elements and perspectives. And that's a lot of times what becomes difficult is we have so much information about different pieces of the whole puzzle. And it is hard to reconcile everything. And obviously there's parts that conflict and whatnot. And she, I thought, did a really good job of blending together some of the older people that have been talking about this for a while, some of the newer people on the scene, and explaining how she believes it all fits together. Like I said, I love the book. I actually read it pretty much within 24 hours. I blasted through it. It's 300 pages, but it's shorter than you think because the print is kind of big. So you can actually rip through it pretty quickly. Tony Sayers has a video on why he does not trust Isabella Greene. Yes, he messaged me and told me about that. I think he's actually reviewing my interview, if I'm not mistaken. He said something like that in a message, but he said he was just using the content of her to review what she's, something like that. So anyway, I'm going to obviously check that out for sure. Jay Burson says, hello. What's up, Jay Burson? Pig, nobody has the full truth. Do I believe in everything Isabella says? No. Yeah, I get that. And I mean, that's kind of how we got to proceed, unfortunately. As above, so below. Love that name. Greetings. Love and light, guys and gals. Yeah. Very funny. Isabella has pieces of the truth. Sort out what feels right or doesn't, but don't. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, Pat Windsor. That's my whole point in all of this is I just want to be very careful not to dismiss somebody in completely if they get certain things wrong. And I know Tony has a really good point. He said, well, the way that the deception works is a lot of times you have 90 or 95% of what you say correct, and then you have a rug pull with a little bit of the information out of there. I just don't know how to reconcile that because I'm still trying to figure that piece out because, excuse me, you could have all good intentions. And since it's so hard to find the truth and deception, you may unintentionally be pushing that 5%, that truth or that non-truth, excuse me. So the question is, are you doing it intentionally or unintentionally? And I think that's an important distinction. And there, I think we have to use our discernment to the best of our ability and say, is this an intentional deception or unintentional when we're making our judgments and we're deciding who to listen to and what we're listening to? It's really tricky. Really, really tricky. I think Isabella is a fraud, probably reptilian or their shill. If she is human, she has no clue about all of that, like all other humans. But if she's reptilian or their shill, she is luring us. And dude, I mean, I disagree. Am I saying she or anybody can be right about or can be wrong about something? Of course, there can be mistakes, and maybe my discernment's off. But to me, this is even before I met her, I just felt sincerity from her. And now I feel that as well after chatting with her as well. But that's how I feel. The only thing I know for sure is don't go into the light. I think that's a pretty safe bet, Paul Wallace. I really like the way Tony thinks. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think he resonates with a lot of people, and myself included. Plus, on a personal note, like I said, I've had the pleasure of being able to communicate with Tony a bunch since he came on the channel. And yeah, he's awesome. Of course, this is going to be slanted personally because he's gone out of his way to try and help me and talk to me and give me advice. So of course, I'm going to really like Tony. But I mean, even before I got to know him personally, I liked him. And I made a video about his stuff, I think. Speaking to that, there was only one flub when you asked her thoughts. Hey, so why was that a flub? Tell me. I'm totally open to why you think that was a flub. I mean, if you refuse to go light, surely they can't prosecute you. She's following Darius Beard, right? Is she following Darius? I don't think she's following him. She just didn't want to comment negatively about other people, and she was saying the good things about Darius is that he's bringing awareness to OBEs. So I think that's a little bit of a mischaracterization. Pat Windsor says thumbs up. Darius is very questionable. Yeah, I've talked about Darius as well. What I think about, dude, somebody was giving me crap in my comments. They're like, oh, you had him on and now you're talking badly about him. I mean, I'm just trying to be discerning as well. But I think what I said about Darius is pretty fair. I think that he is, yeah, I mean, I think it's and this, what he's described to me seems as though he thought he left the astral or the matrix, but really never did. He thought he he's relaying, honestly, in my opinion, what he's received, communications he's received from entities, but those entities may not have been benevolent like he thought. That's kind of it. And that, of course, that's a possibility. Of course, I could be wrong about that. But anyways, have you been practicing your meditation since we left Monroe? Yes, I have. Now, my aim was to do a morning and a night meditation. I was just talking to Angie about this. We were texting today. But the night meditation, dude, I've been sleeping so much since I got back. I think my body and my mind have been drained. And so at nighttime, when I've been sitting down to do my long meditation, I'm like, man, but I'm so tired. I feel like I don't want to disrupt my sleep. So I've been really good about meditating every morning for about 30 to 45 minutes. But the nights, I haven't been doing it as regularly. I think I did it Monday night, I want to say I did it. And I think the other nights, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think I did not do it. But I've been doing the morning meditation every day. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. I just want to make sure my sleep is good. That's kind of my rationale. And by the way, Jesus, let me know if you think, I've been doing this one called Spectrum of Self from the Expand app. It's about 43 minutes. I really like it, but let me know if you have other recommendations. Jesus was Lucid Mind FX. He was at the Monroe Institute with me last week. The elites who run the world, like Elon Musk, know the truth of this realm. They know we live in a simulated reality run by the archons. They know that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not all, but I'm sure the people at the top for sure must know exactly what's going on. It's like that saying, I would rather reign in hell than serve in heaven, is the way that I think about it. Meaning a lot of these people, and it's not literally referring to reigning in hell, the biblical, whatever interpretation of fire and brimstone, which is nonsensical and, in my opinion, made up. But like, this is that realm. This is what it refers to, I think. So it's the kings and the queens, or the people that basically have been complicit in whatever's going on here. They get these amazing positions of power and get to be born into these bloodlines. I don't know. That's what I think is happening. Black Herd, what's up? What's up? A lot of people are pushing back in the Isabella interview. I get it. Yeah, I mean, look, that's what we're here to do. I just hope we all remember, as we're trying to parse through the information, there's a difference between people getting things wrong and making mistakes earnestly and people being deceptive. So I hope that we try our best to recognize the difference between those two. And people get things wrong. We try not to. Dude, I'm going to get stuff wrong. Inevitably. It's going to happen. I already have gotten stuff wrong. And so I hope you guys would give me the benefit of the doubt, just like everybody else. Because ultimately, remember, we are the divine sparks. We are the ones in the system that are trying to help all of us. We're all trying to help each other. And so let's just remember that as we go on this journey, and we try, we're out here trying to help the entire planet, trying to help everybody here wake up and recognize the truth in reality. Let's not get too caught up in attacking each other unnecessarily. There are some that deserve attack. I get it. But I think many of us are really trying our best. So just something to keep in mind. Can OBE travelers coordinate meetings? I've heard somebody else ask this question. I think they can. I've heard that. I think that was actually in Isabella's book, if I remember correctly. Actually, I know there wasn't a joint OBE at Monroe last week. It was crazy. I talked about it in my Monroe breakdown video, but one guy in our group came and helped another guy get out of his body. And the guy who was getting help, he came back. He said, man, I had my first out of body and I feel like somebody tugged me out, but I don't know. And then another guy was like, dude, that was me. I didn't want to say anything until you said something. It was crazy. So yeah, I think you can definitely. The only thing that was a little skeptical to me was her seeing the demiurge raptor on the earth. Why was that part the part where you were skeptical? Just curious. I think Isabella is authentic as her interpretation. That's what I think, dude. I sense authenticity. I don't know if this is 100% true. I feel like I have pretty good discernment when it comes to reading people. I actually felt this before I even started the channel. Could be wrong, but that's what I get. I get like a really good vibe from her. I get a really good vibe from Tony Sayers too. That's what I think. Hey, Intuitive Underground in the house. Morgan Farrell. Yo, Intuitive Underground. Morgan, what's going on? Do you guys have any interviews? Let me know what we can expect and look out for. These guys are taking off. The legendary remote viewing team, Intuitive Underground. Good to see you. Best always. What's up, Susanna? As above, so below. The most important thing is getting close to God creator. Forget talking to aliens. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, could be 100%. Exactly. Be very mindful of these entities. Not a fan of Tony personally. He dislikes. Okay, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, he comes down on a lot of people. It's his style. It's his approach. Is that my approach? No, but yeah, but again, why is I think we have to look at the motivations. Why is Tony this way? Because I think he is trying to. He's got his own way. It's his personality too, but he's got his own way of sussing out what he thinks is untrue information. Again, it may not be your cup of tea the way he approaches it. May not be the way that I would approach it. But the question you have to ask is his heart in the right place? I think it is. I don't have anything against Isabella. She's sharing exactly many of those perspectives. I agree with some exactly, especially around her insistence that Kundalini is a major key. I think that's a very fair perspective. Isabella Greene teaching similar with Kriya Yoga. I don't know too much about Kriya Yoga. I actually didn't. Sorry, I'm trying to rip through these comments. Originally, I didn't agree with some of the stuff, but when she explained a lot of stuff. Yes, that's what I'm saying. As above, so below. We're all on the same road. We're all on the same team at some level. Honestly, even the people that are involved in active deception, if they could break out of this nonsense and reconnect with all of us, they would actually probably, there's a chance for them to turn over. Now, I'm not saying we have to forgive them for everything that they're doing, but I think there's ultimately a chance that a lot of the people on the inside that are doing these nefarious things can turn around, wake up. We have to expose, not worry about hurting feelings. I mean, you're right. You are right. Maybe I worry too much about not hurting feelings. So I don't know if you're referring to me, but maybe you were right. You had people in your chat saying Darius brainwashed you. Yeah, I mean, how am I brainwashed? It's like, if you can prove it to me, look, if you're brainwashed, how do you know, right? I suppose there's a possibility, but somebody logically explain how I've been brainwashed in the slightest bit. I just came away from, I went into it wondering if maybe there was active deception, and I came away feeling as though, and again, I'm not 100% convinced one way or the other, but I moved more to the side of, I think there are things that he's off about, but he's trying his best, but I think he maybe potentially got deceived by some of these entities. If you want to call that brainwash, go for it. What else am I supposed to do? I'm trying to interview people and learn and talk as I go. I'm going to do my best. And yeah, maybe sometimes I'll get convinced one way or the other incorrectly. I'm trying my best. Techno Freedom said, yes, they can. In my opinion, I think Darius knows a lot more than he says, and that is a good thing if that makes sense. I looked at his website. You will drop a minimum of $5,000 to go on one of his retreats. I do think he's legit, though. I can relate to much of what he's saying. Oh, I didn't know that was the price point. It's been a tough adjustment for me. You know, a lot of people attack like Isabella and Darius and other people for the amount of money they charge. I think even Tony offers some services, but I haven't looked at the prices. This is one thing you guys have to realize. It's one thing if you're employing deceptive practices to get people to pay for whatever services you offer. It's another thing if you're being really, again, I haven't looked into what they're offering and how they're pricing and all this stuff, but it's another thing if you offer something in full honesty and disclosure. I have a tutoring business. I do the same thing, right? I believe I explain to a T what I can provide and what I'm offering, and also what alternatively people can do and give options and then people will choose if the value proposition is worth it to them or not based on a number of factors. So that is kind of how things operate in life and on this planet and in business. And if people opt into that and they feel happy to do it, right? I don't think you can immediately discount everything they're doing. this is the world that we're set up in. So for people just to look at the prices and immediately attack somebody, I don't think it's a fair thing at all. Now, but it's another thing if you're paying 5,000 or 10,000, you come away and be like, dude, it was a total ripoff. He's totally misleading people. Like, what was that guy, Wes Watson? I think a lot of people were saying that about his programs. Like, that's different. That's your misleading people. But if people come away and they're like, dude, the value proposition was amazing, that's something else. Jesus said it's been a tough adjustment for you. You mean for coming back to real life? Yeah, I gotta say, it's actually, for me, it has not been. Maybe because of this channel is partially why. Like, I felt as though I was on such a mission to go there, extract information, and come back. So it actually hasn't been a tough adjustment for me. In fact, I feel renewed and reinvigorated to a large extent. But I understand that. I feel like a lot of people have been saying that in our WhatsApp group. Chakras are an overlay of the matrix to suck our energy and insert reptilians, aka demons, into us. Kundalini is invoking serpent. Black sun in chakras is black hole, and void is probably other side of it. Wait, hold on. Black sun is in chakras is black hole. Tony from Insights with Tony says that the chakras are a matrix overlay as well. Jamali Antonio says, to be honest, I'm getting a bit tired of all the people in the space claiming everyone don't know what they're talking about. The ones that swear they have the complete truth. The pace is getting divisive. And that's probably what the powers that be want, right? That's what I'm saying. I think we need to steer clear of this divisive mindset, because this is exactly, if you think about it, for the people that are in charge and running the system, the less collaborative of a mindset we all have, the more likely we're going to be confused and keep being stuck in the cycle. So that's what I'm saying. Even if people are getting stuff wrong, I think we need to fight the temptation collectively to immediately dismiss people, or, as somebody said earlier, throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think that's one of the issues. It's Howdy McCoskey makes a point about this idea in politics, for example. You can go one side Democrat, you can go the other side Republican. There's certain viewpoints on each maybe that we all agree with, but if you play the game, then you're going to say, I'm going to go Republican. You're going to just dismiss the Democrat side and fight this war that's basically an unwinnable war because there's so much misinformation and disinformation. Same side if you go Democrat. In either side, you're losing, because you're already jumping into this bipartisan system where you're fighting, you're getting angry, you're hating one side, you're loving your side, and you're dismissing one side. You know what I mean? So it's like in that area, what Howdy basically says is the only way to win is to not play the game, because the game is rigged for you to lose. Now, obviously, here it's a little bit different because we don't want to completely abstain from the game, meaning the truth-finding mission. We need to seek truth. But I think the element of the game, of this pursuit, that involves dismissing people or attacking people or all these things, I think we need to be a little bit careful there. Because again, this goes into the divisiveness, the splitting up of people into factions, and I think all of that is problematic. And we need to be more in the vein of, hey, some people might have this thing right, some people might have that thing right. It's not about debating. It's not about, oh, yours is wrong and I'm going to tell you why mine is. It's like, hey, we have differences here, there, and elsewhere. Let's talk about them. Let's be a think tank together. Let's see what logically makes sense and what doesn't, as opposed to formulating these theories, sticking to them like heck, like we do in religion, and then just battling back and forth. Oh, they're wrong about this, they're wrong about that. Like, let's be a little bit more collaborative. I think that's our really only key to figuring all this out. Elon is not fully human. Ask yourself, as man of trillions, why you and I struggle. We need to see all perspectives. Exactly. Hey, I think Bebe Willow, did you message me on Instagram? I think you're the one that just sent me some stuff, but I could be wrong about that. Shannon Paul, the Solfeggio app is great for meditation. Oh, cool. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I've been using the Expand app. Was Penry in his works talks about the arrival of the Anunnaki back to Earth, and this time maybe what Isabella saw with Yaldabaoth is the Anunnaki? Yeah, definitely. It could be. I've been thinking about that too. What is Yaldabaoth, or does it symbolize a faction or a collection of the reptilians, things like that? I was wondering that as well, right? Because we have to be careful when we remote view or astral project. We're seeing things through our own perspectives. A great illustration of that is when she went in to view the world without any preconceived notions, and she saw just source code effectively, which is wild. because he dreams big. Eddie Alvio, because he dreams big. I agree with you when you said we should listen with an open mind on all who talk about these experiences. You said it perfectly when you had the Intuitive Underground interview. All right. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. I think you take what you take, and if you don't take it, throw it back. But I think we should all agree that we should not put 100%. 100%. Oh, absolutely. Yes, it was amazing. We were going back along the script. We would have easy lives since we were going against the grain script, the very reason we struggle in these lines. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Dan. Wait. Am I Dan? I'm not sure who you're, Jesus, who are you shouting out? Dan, I'm not sure. A lot of this subject is filtered through our own interpretations. Exactly. So there's another woman, Selma, here, who has years of experience in astro. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. That is a great point. Jay Bird's, I'm not sure you're referring to dreams big. No. Lucky, big, yes. I agree there's a difference. Nobody has all the answers and are mostly just trying to navigate through the deception. I've been wrong about things, and 100%, of course. Me too. I can't prove Tony wrong, Jamali. Tony has a lot of knowledge, but he tends to complain a lot. But by the way, I like Tony. Eddie says, according to the Gnostic text, he is in the Agdad, which is the eighth heavens, and it can't be reached. I'd love to see you assemble a global group of OBE travelers reaching hundreds of members, maybe in coordinate. Yo, hey, I'm so down for that. Actually, Jesus is in here. He can astral project. I still have not been able to, but I'm working on it. Agreed. And maybe when I get to that point, I can organize something. Agreed. When anyone says this reality is all love and light and a school, or I have the only way to escape, buy my book, we should keep an open mind to whatever they can contribute. Oh my God. I thought Isabella, when she responded to life as a school, that she did such a good job of nailing that down and why it's quite perverse to think that way. We've all been deceived about something for sure. Remember, what did William Bowman say? All beliefs are flawed. All. No exception. I love that, because everything we're perceiving through these limited senses, and so much is corrupted around us. And if we ever get to, that's probably a really good thing to keep in mind, and just say everything. Don't let everything be open to change. And it's easier said than done. Confirmation bias is a real thing. Brainwashing is for the mentally weak. I highly doubt that that's his intention. He definitely comes off authentic. Yes, facts. Are you talking about Jesus? Are you talking about Tony? Robert Brown. I personally can't prove any of these guys wrong. LOL. I've only been out. Oh, you've been out of body though. That's cool. Being too quick to demonize people is actually quite dogmatic. I agree. It's a balance between discernment and grace. Yes, Darius does offer full transparency, so it's up to you to make the decision if you want to take his offer or not. I hear you, Jamali. Robert Brown. I think he's hypercritical and could be a bit more open-minded. Yeah. Between my 6 dogs, my two boys, my wife, my job, I'm just having to. I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's different for me. I just got my dog. It's like very different adjustment. Lucrative George might be his first time in the chat. Don't recognize the name. Welcome. My question to you is, if we are so-called gods, then why are we getting help from outside forces in the form of channeling gurus and spiritual teachers? Look within thyself. You're right. This is exactly right. The kingdom of heaven is within. Good point. Melanie Stockfield, 100. Yes. Great point, Lucrative George. That's part of the illusion they don't want you to know about, especially with politics. I know. We got to find a way to bring our pieces to come up with a movement that moves us towards positive progress, maybe constructive criticism. Yo, as above, so below. Tony's videos are so funny about voting. I'm not going to say the word, but he starts out so harsh. He goes, if you guys are voting, you guys are blanks. And then he talks about it. It's so funny because these are things that I've actually thought, hey, look, if you want to vote, go ahead, go vote. I'm not going to even take that harsh of a stance. It's just, don't get on my case about whether I do or not. It's a freedom. It's a choice. And you want to make a mathematical argument against me and telling me why I should, like, good luck with that. But anyways, it's pretty funny. Yes, thanks a lot. On the go right now. Just wrapped up a fun project this afternoon. Tell me, what's the fun project? Working through back catalog, start releasing this year. Whoa, tell me more. Guys, if you guys want to learn how to remote view, wait, Morgan, you have a course, right? If you guys want to learn how to remote view, check out Intuitive Underground. You got the right idea, brother. Well said. Love that this platform is authentic and we're all here. Exactly. We were here together to piece of puzzle. It says stay open. Yes. 100. Everyone hated Jesus too. Yeah, true. Yeah, but Jesus didn't have trillions. True. People need to learn to chew the meat and spit out the bones. Take what works for them in open mind. Yes. As a collective, we need to stick together. Yep. That was me. I sent you the laser videos. Oh my God. I'm going to review those laser videos in a bit. Woo. I got so much to review. They're being 10 times better than Elon, who are barely surviving. Hey, what's up, Beth? Nelson Castile, Cave of Mystery, said that he will guide anyone that asks through an OBE for free. He is an OBE teacher. Ooh, interesting. Nelson Castile. Hold on, let me look that guy up. Nelson Castile. Okay, I Googled it. I will check it out later. Jesus, the one who helped with the OBE experience. What would you think about interviewing Alchemist 369? Yeah, I mean, I'm down eventually. It's on my list. It's not at the right now. The next interview that I got coming up is crazy. I got Howdy McCoskey coming on in 10, 11 days. That's going to be wild. Somebody else messaged me too. Oh, has anybody in here heard of, let me find it. Has anybody in here heard of somebody named Sethleham, aka Seth? Yeah, Sethleham. It's a YouTube channel. He messaged me and said, I think he wants to have an interview. So I need to look at his stuff. I was watching some of his stuff already, but has anybody heard of him? No belief, self-sovereignty. Let's go. To Beth, I like Nelson, but religious or dogmatic lens is hard for me to get fully on board with. Yes, Alchemist 369. You want Alchemist? Okay. Yes, I agree. Alchemist 369 is wonderful insights. Thanks, Jesus. We cannot be collaborative and accept every authority claiming somehow when we know the malevolent forces are using their disinformation agents to trick us. We cannot really trust any authority. No, I mean, I agree with you, Nico, but oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, okay. When I say, okay, I get what you're saying. I do still think there's a way to be, right. So we have to be careful of people. We have to think about who's being deceived and therefore transmitting incorrect information, and who's transmitting the real stuff. And probably all of us are transmitting incorrect stuff. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'm not really talking about the people that are getting information and conveying it. I'm talking about the rest of us that are trying to decipher and discern. So like from that perspective, we're not in touch with some higher power, potentially higher power, and then disseminating that information saying it's absolute truth. I'm saying the rest of us, and some of us will make mistakes when we're discerning, some of us won't, and some of, you know, that's what I mean is if we can, I get what you mean though. We have to be careful, and I understand the look within yourself as well. I don't know though. I do think I have to chew on this a little bit. I do think there's something to be said for us uniting to some extent with good intentions, with positive intentions, and trying to understand the world together. I mean, that's what we're doing right here. You know, but I get what you're saying as well. I think there's something to that. Look at what Intuitive Underground is doing. They have a team of remote viewers. That's way more, and you're finding ways to decipher the information and cross-check it, which is, from a scientific standpoint, way more reliable than a single person going out and potentially getting manipulated, right? There's something to collaboration, but I get what you're saying. Let me know if you kind of get what I'm trying to get at. Be the observer, consider all the perspectives, understand paradox and cognitive agility. Yes, well said. Darius has never said he has all the truth. He's just sharing his personal testimony. There are so many channelers right now. I know. Jamali, I agree. You know, Shannon and Isabella Greene said she used to channel, but then she stopped because she realized that there's so much manipulation lurking in channeling. Count me in on the course of IU. Yeah, exactly. If voting actually made a difference, it would most likely be illegal. Good point. Yes, he's an a-hole. As a member of Darius A-Day group and a member of many other groups, I'd say Darius is a great person to introduce to people because of the space and the subject, but he's definitely not the most knowledgeable. Thank you, Jamali, for your perspective. That guy, the remote viewer that makes visual effects for cinema. Does anyone know where he is? Are you talking about Brett Stewart? I'm not sure. Baby Willow. Also, different people may resonate with different perspectives, and one may learn with Darius and one may learn with the techniques that is. That's true. Actually, it's a good point. I'm in the education space, right? It's the same thing with math tutors. Sometimes you resonate with one, not the other. It doesn't mean one is that's a really good point in terms of teaching and connecting, because sometimes there just has to be a resonance between two people to learn effectively. Sethleham is so you're not a fan of Sethleham. Does anybody else know about Sethleham? Does anybody else have a feeling or perspective on him? Alchemist has some videos saying Lucifer is a positive entity. This reality is absurdity because all is allowed to exist. When you assemble the global OBE group, I can help build a protocol. Okay, sounds good. I just bought Morgan Farrell. Hey, cool. Shout out to Morgan Farrell and Intuitive Underground. Which Lucifer? They're cancel belief who believe that there's more than one Lucifer. Yes, I know some opposing viewpoints, but he's been very respectful. I like him. Okay, so you like him. So, hey, Intuitive Morgan, is it worthwhile? Do you think I should interview him on the channel? Let me know what you think. Be aware of the trap deception. Educate yourself. Discern and do the work. We're doing way better tackling the soul trap mechanism than they were doing just 10 years ago. Got to keep doing the work. Yeah, and I think part of the discernment, as I mentioned many times on this channel, is just try and live an honest and life with integrity to the best of your ability. Nobody's perfect. I do think that factors in to how good your discernment is. I really do. I think there's something to be said for that. Check out Seth Lehem video with Segi Paradigm Experience. Segi challenges him very intelligently. Okay, we'll do. Have you heard of Jürgen Zui? He makes Robert Monroe look like a beginner. That name sounds familiar. Tell me who that is. That name sounds really familiar. Never heard of Seth Lehem. Yes, heard of him. Yeah, I don't know. He messaged me on Instagram and he said, hey, they're just reaching out in case there's a realistic way to contact you. I've been going on a podcast tour lately and have some pretty untapped large claims. And he said somebody recommended me to him. And he said, I'm coming from the other side, but I'm an ex-astral traveler myself. So I would like to offer the best possible counter perspective with evidence. So I don't know exactly what that means, a counter perspective, but I'm definitely, obviously, open to it. If you got, I'm going to do my own research, but I just want to know what you guys think as well as I consider that as an interview. I've heard Lucifer and Jesus are actually the same person. We were just sold a different story. I don't know. Oh, never mind. I know Seth Lehem, not a fan at all. Complete other side. Like how? How is the other side of the road? Can you fill me in on that? Rich T channel. Do you agree with Isabella Greene that Kundalini awakening might be the most practical thing we aim? I don't know. I don't know yet. I need to do more research on Kundalini. What I know is I asked Tony before I interviewed her that I knew that he had taken issue with the Kundalini stuff, and I asked why. Or I said why and what? How can what do I want to ask her about this? And he said that it's the serpent energy, and so that is a problem because reptilians, etc. But when I asked her about it, she said that it's my understanding is she basically said it's an unfair characterization of Kundalini energy, meaning it was by analogy called serpent energy because it's rising from the bottom, kind of like a snake rising up and raising its hood, but it has actually nothing to do with serpents or reptilians, something like that. So that was her response or retort to those claims and allegations that there's an inherent flaw or negative association with Kundalini, but I can't say yet. I need to do a lot more research. I need to do a lot more research before I have a good opinion or informed opinion on that front. And I'm farming harvest the terror of innocent beings and empowers demonic forces, harvesting disease, pain, and trauma, the most innocent, loving beings on earth who didn't even ask for this. Do your homework on the gay. He would say a lot of us are got it. Okay, I'll do my homework. We will never, ever end this and will always be enslaved while enslaving innocent beings. That broth extracted directly from their suffering and consuming that energy. You're warning everybody about bone broth comes from a real loosh farm built on animal terror. Refusing to go vegan funds that industry, giving demonic forces more power. True sovereignty requires compassion for the vulnerable. Thanks for feeding the matrix. Okay. It's going ping speed. Yes, I think yes, Kundalini helps. Awakening my Kundalini helped me. Oh, interesting. So you've done Kundalini. Okay. I don't know much about it, so that's interesting. Kundalini is an artificial implant. 12 bets us stay away. So differing viewpoints. The fact that we are here proves that we have memory loss. And the fact that we're asking questions to try to figure out is proof we have an enemy. True. Why do people call Kundalini reptilian tech? We should not touch Kundalini, life force energy, aka prana energy. Without it, humans cannot exist. Okay, so Christian has a different viewpoint. Hey, let me go back to what Golden Pink Beads is talking about in terms of going vegan and saying that otherwise this feeds the matrix. I think you are, I'm not sure I agree with this perspective. Okay, look at Tony Sayers, for example. He tried to go vegan, and him and many other documented people have tried to go vegan, but they have too many health issues and they have to go back. So I think this call to going, I think vast majority of humans, with some exceptions, are designed to be at their peak performance and healthiest by far on a meat and vegetable diet, being an omnivore. Why am I saying this? Do I think it's great to kill animals? No, sucks. And I had somebody on the channel be like, they have to actually hunt on a regular basis to get their meat. And they say they cry every time. It sucks. But you are what you're doing here is you're attacking us for a perverse system that we're placed within. So what I'm trying to say is, let's zoom out for a second. Think about all the microorganisms you kill every time you take a breath. So it's in that way, if you looked at it in this way, you'd say you should just hold your breath. Otherwise, you're feeding the system and you're being bad or whatever it is. It's like, well, you hold your breath, you're gonna pass away. You're gonna die. Like, that is an inherent part of the system. You can't blame people for taking a breath. You blame the design of the structure and the system that requires us to take a breath and kill all these microorganisms on the regular. So I think that's part of the trap. Once again, you're blaming us for the actual system. You're demonizing the people that are forced into the system that requires to survive based on this food chain. And by the way, you stop us from doing that. What about all the other animals? You think you're going to make a lion go vegan? You think you're going to make all these other bears and things like that go vegan? Like, come on. This is not this. You have to recognize what's really happening and the structure and the nature of the system. So I think it's, again, one of these micro issues that's getting people focusing on the wrong thing, focusing on the micro pieces as opposed to the big picture. That's my 2 cents. Rich T channel. I love Christian friends that fear Kundalini. Take that how you will. I have Christian friends that fear Kundalini. Okay. Isabella's incorrect. She doesn't know the history. It comes from the Tantric Hindu text, which clearly states that it is Naga. The Nagas. Oh, interesting. Okay. Interesting, Melanie. People don't know the history and get lost. Fascinating. Okay. I didn't know that. Seth Laham is a literal Christian, basically believes all this astral is. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll look a little bit more into it. Yeah, I have a really hard time getting into these hardcore Christian perspectives because I just like, it's just on its face that I made videos about it. On its face, this idea of these dogmatic religions just buying into one text that's been modified and changed so many times and claiming that it has all the answers within it when it has so many problems and pieces of misinformation and conflicts with historical accounts and just things that just don't make sense and that are conflicting. It's like, what are we doing here? It just feels so inherently flawed and problematic. And so if that, I don't know, but anyways, I still need to research him a little bit more. I saw one of his videos, him talking about demons a little bit, but I didn't know he's a hardcore Christian in that sense of, but again, I need to research him more. Isabella has a darkness to her. Don't trust her. Don't hate her. Just don't believe her. You feel a darkness from her? I really don't. She gives me really good vibes, but yeah, I think vegetarian is the most balanced diet in my opinion. Yeah, I think that for some people, I think it might be. I don't disagree, but there are so many public figures that have tried to go vegan and try to go vegetarian and eventually have not been able to sustain, or they do sustain it sometimes barely, but they have to take a million supplements. Like it's just very obvious the way that our bodies are designed that it just, for many people, it just doesn't work to be fully healthy without having some serious health problems. This has happened to so many people. And then on top of that, like I said, we go back to the idea of, fine, even if we shift to become vegetarian, what about the way that the entire food chain is set up on this planet? We're just one component of this entire food chain system. But what about all the other animals? It's like, again, it's more a problem of design with the system versus a problem with us. That's what I think. And also, remember, Jesus, we were having that interesting discussion about plants reacting to being killed and actually having energy and being afraid once you go and you kill another plant, they're like wary of you. I think plants have energy too, and plants don't want to be destroyed either. We don't think they do because we can't perceive it as obviously and openly as we can with animals. But plants are also, I think, subject to suffering to some extent. So just because now we're not seeing these reactions, it doesn't mean we're still not destroying and consuming to survive. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's a misplaced focus on these particulars, kind of like the way that Hadi Makoski talks about. We're trying to go in and like fix the world, make it a perfect utopia. But right when you do that, you're already falling victim to the trap of the planet, which is not fixable because it's inherently flawed by design. So by trying, you just got to step away from this idea of trying to fix something that is just always going to be damaged and flawed. Tony isn't a god. We weren't meant to eat anything that had a heartbeat. Gorillas are the baddest on the planet. I mean, well, what about lions? What about other carnivores? And what about what I just said about animals also having a pulse and a life force to them? Baby Willow, thank you. Hope it serves you well. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. I hate that vegan stuff. I give my dogs treats and I'm not going to feel bad, says Shannon. Breathing microbes isn't the same as funding slaughterhouses. Animals have brains, nervous system. I mean, again, yeah, but you're drawing an arbitrary line. I mean, I could say that anything with a nucleus is going to be like a nuclear membrane or something like that it's problematic to destroy that. I mean, you're making an argument that is, you're just moving the bar to where it makes sense for you from what you feel is reasonable and logical. So, I mean, I kind of feel like you're making it. Look, this is a debate. Again, this is like something that I think people want us to be debating and want us to be fighting about. It's missing the point of the broader picture. And then we get entangled in this, or like abortion arguments or stuff like that. These are micro issues that are thrown out, in my opinion, to the public to divide and basically get us fighting with each other, which is just like, but yeah, you do your thing, Golden Pink Beads. If you feel strongly about it, talk about it. I'll let you talk and share your perspectives. No worries. I'm just not going to get into it anymore. All right. Consuming blood lowers your vibration. Just know the trap. Sethlehem is a Christian that thinks astral travel is demonic and that Bob Monroe was tricked, and he thinks he has evidence. He's super intelligent, but the way he talks, okay, got it. Having a healthy dose of skepticism necessary when listening to the various content creators. Yep. There is a book written in ancient Greek where Hermes is a conversation with some point. They conclude that a right meal is without meat. Interesting. Religion was designed and created to control masses and to make churches rich. I don't disagree with you there. I fully believe that. I don't trust alchemists. I was scheduled for an interview. What? You're scheduled for an interview? No way. I was carnivore for over 50 years. Only been off meat for 6 months. Feel great. Catholics and Gnostics didn't eat meat. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. But that's great. Let us know. I think Tony, it was 4 years after he was off that he had to go back because he was having health problems. I tried to go vegetarian a few years back. I can't do it. I work out way too much. I need all my protein. Yeah, and you can get a lot of protein from plants, but I think the bioavailability is different. But again, I know some people have been able to do it, or some people have been able to be like fruitarians. Again, I'm not going to sit here and we're not, I feel as though these types of, it's a falling into a trap when we get into the weeds and debating these things. And that's what the powers that be want. Golden Pink, plants don't have central nervous system. True. Nothing wrong with darkness. How can you see the light if you're not in the darkness? Alchemist 369 is a woman. Is there another one? Sarah Eckhaldry, as far as I know. I believe it is okay to experiment OBEs and see the other side, but be wary of the beings that have many different agendas. When I get out, I will mostly observe only. What makes a person a guru? Oh, mostly observe only. Oh, I see what you're saying, Pat Windsor. Makes a person a guru, the number of followers. I don't consider any of these people gurus. Sure. They have canine teeth. Do you? Forget the food. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'll read your comments. I'm not going to really engage. Okay, this reel is inverted. It is not our fault. Yeah, she talks about the inversion. Plants are least corrupt conscious animals, eating more than more corrupt carnivores, even more humans, more astral realms being most corrupt. The alchemist is a woman. Alchemist 369 is a guy. I'm plant-based, mainly fruitarian. Oh, that's cool. It works great for me, but exactly. Thank you. Morgan definitely will. Thank you. She says to Morgan, Zava, don't feed the yeah. I'm with you, Keiko Loco. I'm with you. I was standing in the bathroom 23 years ago, fell back, hit my head. I guess this might be an NDE. I popped out around 5 minutes, about 1 meter from my body. I was just awareness. I see my body. Cool. So you had an OBE. I mean, that That's more of an, well, I guess it is technically an NDE, I guess, depending on exactly what happened to your body. But it more or less sounds like the typical NDEs. You go up, you have a life review. I guess it's tomato, whatever you want to, however you want to classify. But that more sounds like a concussion-induced OBE than a traditional NDE. Vegans are narcissists. I mean, I don't think we can just say vegans are. That's a bit of a blanket statement, but I think the archons don't give a crap what you eat. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm with you. So glad you went to Monroe. Try listening to Wave 1 through 5 Exploration of Sleep, the Gateway tapes at 3 in the morning. What? Wait, really? Wave 1 through 5 Exploration. Let me see if that's in the Expand app. Hold on. Wave 1 through 5. There's something called Inner Waves. Where do I find that, 12 bets? There's different types of darkness. There's the darkness of doing evil. Then there's the darkness of one's inner being, which is not evil. Wait, darkness of doing evil. Not evil, just simply flawed. Okay. Long time no see, Source Warrior. Welcome, welcome. Guys, if you could hit that like button as well, I really appreciate it. Helps the engagement, helps push the stream, helps push the channel and the information out to more people. So if you could click that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Let me see how many we have right now on the likes. Let's see. Where are we at? We got 24 likes and 78 people on here. If you guys could click that like button, we get those likes up. I really appreciate it. Thank you. A birch tree has a nervous system much like ours. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. We should do an interview sometime. Yeah? Really? Okay, 12 bets. Hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram. Message me right here. I'm definitely down. Can you give me some of your information, or maybe if you've done any other interviews so I could check it out first? But I'm definitely open to it. There's my Instagram. Hit me up and we can talk. I value people's right to choose and freedom more than any diet choice, and I don't eat meat. We aren't all like that. It's very important not to feel guilty for being somewhat corrupt in a realm designed. Exactly. I'm so with you, Nico. And I think that's part of the system. And that's part of the life review trick, is that we're set up where we're hurting people no matter what we do. You know what I mean? And so it's part of this whole system where you fail just by being born. Do you guys remember that pre-birth memory where the guy decided not to be born and he left before he was born, and then that transpired into a miscarriage, and then they gave him a life review and they showed him all the people that he hurt and that he upset by not being born? You literally, even just not being born, there was something that they could pluck out and use to say how terrible he was or how he screwed up and to convince him to come back. Remember that. Remember that. That's huge. So what do you guys say? Vegan, omnivore. He didn't even eat anything. He was just getting food from the mom. Okay, all that stuff is out there. He just bounced and dipped, and then he still got a life review and still got all the stuff that he made hundreds of people feel terrible. Like, if that doesn't tell you what this is all about, I don't know what will. He means the first Gateway album. I have 1 through 5. It's called Exploration Sleep. Okay. Gateway album. Where do I find the Gateway album, baby? I was like saying, partner, I'm okay. She couldn't hear, sort of sat out watching. Then I just thought, when I looked at my body, this must be death. Bang, back in body like paralysis. Interesting. Okay, Gigs Hopper, check on Matthias De Stefano. De Stefano works on Earth. They gaslight you for reality. Yeah, exactly. Gateway tapes. Yes, you. Oh no, I don't. I have the Expand app, and I did download the HemiSync app. So is it on there? I'm not sure. Source Warrior, the saying "there's a sucker born every minute" now seems true. Sucker born we're all suckers, you know. The fact that we can reflect means we don't even come from this realm. We can reflect. What does it mean, though, to come from this realm? I mean, the realm is created. I think. So I don't think even anything, even the creators of the realm don't necessarily come from the realm, right? I'm not, but sure. Moon stars. Good to know we're effed in this lifetime and beyond. Well, we're not. That's the listen. I know it can get a little down. We get a little down talking about this stuff, and it's tricky. But here's a message that I want you guys to remember. Just like I've said many times that the idea of hell is nonsensical in terms of being an eternal damnation, being here forever is also nonsensical. Remember what is infinity, what is forever. Trillions of years, quadrillions of years, a Googleplex of years. That's one with 100 zeros. It's a lot of years. That all becomes effectively zero when you compare it to infinity. My point is, if we truly are eternal beings, which I believe we are, if we truly are fragments of the source, which I believe we are, keeping us here forever for infinity is effectively impossible. I think you guys would agree with that. So to say that we are all effed in this lifetime, maybe, and beyond, the infinite beyond, no way. No way. You can it's infinite time is going to win. And that's the big takeaway. That's the big message I think that we need to recognize here. Tell me if you disagree. Give me a good argument for it. I'd love to hear it if you disagree. There's no reason to go past focus 10 to have an OBE. It's all big lie, just being born in sin. It's a program. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. So the last comment I'll read on this, but like I said, cool. I get you, but this is not, it's distracting from what we're trying to really get to, but I'll read it. You're right. The archons don't care what we, but your true divine self says, I'm not a troll. I'm not calling you a troll. Okay. But it's just, it's like you could get up here and talk about any micro issue that exists in our society and argue. And it's just like, you're distracting people from talking about what I think is the most important. Like, what is the system? Not, oh, like, why is this particular law or practice or this thing or that thing cruel and unusual? Like, no, that's what they want you to get wrapped up in. Like, let's zoom out. But sending love, thank you. I appreciate you. I think we can trust the Bible. Most of it's under the Vatican. Oh, can't. I don't think we can trust it. Yeah, exactly. I thought you said can't. I don't recommend going past focus 12. You can do anything you want in the etheric realm. This is where you can manifest anything you want. We did focus up to focus 21 at Monroe. They make script for us before birth that makes us. Yes, exactly. Nico, thank you. Does anybody not see the hypocrisy in this where you like, when you focus on the minutia and the little things that we do in this life and be like, no, this is bad, you need to change that. It's like these scripts are made ahead of time for how we're supposed to behave here. Like, unless you guys think that's total BS, which I don't. Isabella Greene talks about it. They talk about it in Journey of Souls. There is a pre-life planning stage in the astral. So you're like, that's my point. You're sitting here arguing about the minutia, the little micro movements that we make in life when all of this stuff is planned out and you agree to it. And you're going to, and then you be like that. You guys understand what I'm saying? And then we attack each other for these things we're set up and we're manipulated into doing. And it's like, you're focusing on the wrong things. We are the divine sparks. We are what's real in this realm. Just think about that for a minute. It's important. I'd rather be bummed out temporarily than for eternity. This fake reality giving you the idea of good, but they control. Yes, very well said, Eddie. There are some theories in alien abduction community that people on the planet, like 10% of the population, are alien. Yeah, I've heard that. One takeaway I did get from his experience was that we're just in a meat suit. Sure. Where I do agree with Darius wholeheartedly is there's no place for fear. I have no fear. I know I'm an eternal being who exactly. Yes. Guys, just think when understand what eternal means. Try and see if you can Google some videos from a mathematical standpoint of what is infinity really. Like, really listen to mathematicians talk about infinity. And if it even exists in this universe, it's more of a theoretical construct than anything. To be trapped eternally, think about that. That's nonsense. It does not make sense. Eternity. I think you can find the gateways on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. If somebody has that, can you message it to me on Instagram, please? I would really appreciate it. Again, there's my Instagram, Pink Tourmaline Huzefa. I'd love that. That would be amazing. And I'd happily take a look. Beth says you can find the gateway. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know how good they are. I have the FLAC files and the Lucid Dreaming series. Yeah, if anybody could send those, Beth, or anybody, that I'd really appreciate it. I often say to myself, the system is just code. It's just code. In the end, I want to remember that is a holographic reality, fake world, but real oppressors. Yep, stay sovereign to the end. Well said. My most intense astral travel experiences were on Wave 4 Adventures Okay, Wave 4 Hemisync. Let me look that up on the Hemisync app. Whoops. Hold on. Oh, I don't even think I've logged in yet to Hemisync because I need to. Here, let me sign in with this. Continue. Okay. Let me look up Wave 4. Hold on while this loads. Something that surprised. Oh, what does Isabella Greene feel about Jesus? Is he just an archon? Is there only. We didn't actually talk about that. I don't know. This super bone broth is helping my throat so much. This is insane. I got to have this every time I do a live stream. Something that surprised me in Isabella interviews is she said she can retrieve all information from the true void, but she was clueless if the loosh is being used for transportation. She said she can receive all information. I don't remember her saying that. Or like, maybe she can receive all information, but she doesn't necessarily have it all, right? I don't think she ever claimed to be all knowledgeable, but the waiting rooms is where all the scripts are created. Yeah, exactly. Keep reminding us that for real. Yeah, you're for sure, Shannon. Yes, we are divine spark. And when we know that we are on the outside of the system here. Yes. The Vatican didn't own the first Bible found in Ireland in ancient. Oh, somebody just sent to me. Hold on. Allow. Retry. Who just sent that to me? High frequency vibe. Thank you. Which is Bebe, right? On here. Thank you for sending that to me. The Wave 1 Gateway Experience. Let's go. The Vatican didn't own the first Bible found in ancient Ireland, ancient Irish, the first language. It's a book based on the astrotheology. Predictive programming is real, or is it retrocausality, which is effects in the future determining the cause? What do you mean by that exactly, Source Warrior? Can you explain that a little bit more? Predictive programming is real, or is it? Wait, is it when you say retrocausality? Do you mean? I've thought this before. I actually think you're right. I think it's retrocausality. If I'm interpreting what you're saying correctly. It's more of implantation as opposed to true prediction. Meaning, hey, this is going to happen in your life, then this is going to happen, that's going to happen. So they're giving you markers and things so that they want you to follow in ways that they want you to behave, but you ultimately still have free will to deviate from that script. I think that's what you're saying, and I think that's true. Because that otherwise, where's the law of free will? You know, maybe it's commandeered by you accepting the script. So that is another possible explanation. But I think, tell me if I hit the nail on the head there. If they make us feel guilt, so train ourselves to be narcissistic. Well, why do you have to be narcissistic per se? I think you don't have to be a narcissist not to feel guilt. And also, I think we should still have empathy to the best of our abilities. Obviously, that's going to be, we're like, for example, we can still feel the way we feel about when we have to make decisions in life that hurt people, breakups or different things, or when we meet, we have to, I don't think it's like, oh, we have to be a narcissist and just go and not worry about anything. Like, we can still feel those feelings, but just recognize that we're good entities. In that other pre-birth memory, remember, the gentleman said, outside of this realm, outside of the matrix, we're all good. There's no negative spirits, positive spirits. It's like, we're all good. Let's try and remember that. I think there's a lot of truth to that. It's where the people call Jesus the King of Kings, when I realize he might be the King of Archons. Yeah, let's just get out of that savior mindset. I think that's a message that Tony repeats over and over, and I think he's right on about that. Tony Sayers. I believe we need to connect our divine spark to real God, who is life itself, consciousness itself, existence itself. He can help us out. I know that no fake gods of religion work for us. I'm with you. I messaged you on Instagram for some. Oh, M Pool. What? Okay, hold on. What's your name on Instagram, M Pool? Let me know, and I'll check it right now. I'm sorry, by the way. I'm trying my best. I miss stuff sometimes, and I apologize. I usually watch YouTube without an account, only log in for special channel videos. Got you. Okay. Well, I hope then that you're considering my channel special. I appreciate that. You have to pay for the real Gateway tapes. Okay, I can pay for that. I'm happy to do that. Yep, Ella, thank you, baby. I appreciate it. The human that leads to predictive programming through news, media, movies. Yes, the archons do it through new age channeling. Same gameplay. Ah, yeah, as above, so below. Let's go. I will hook you up with the real Gateway tapes. I grew up in a very religious Muslim household. I grew up in a Muslim household too. And then my current age of 35, I identify with any religions. I feel that Allah people pray to is the demiurge that Isabella described. That's funny. I mean, I'm 46, so I got 11 years on you, but yeah, it's the same thing. I was raised in Islam, and then don't get me okay. And if you read the Quran, it's people. A lot of people just don't read it, and they go by the 5 pillars of Islam and some of those teachings that are extracted. It's like, read the Quran. In the first like 10% of the Quran, I think it's probably like 30 times where it says, and the non-believers will go to hell and fire and brimstone for eternity. It's constant threats and threats and threats. It's like, how do people consider this book so wise and divine? It's just a ton of crazy, I don't know. People are probably going to get mad. I got to be careful because people could get very upset with me, but that's just an honest question. When you read that, does that read to you as this divine text, or does that read as a one big section of threats trying to manipulate you into following this particular practice? I mean, you tell me. My question is, why hasn't the demiurge been defeated yet? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. But again, when you compare what's been happening to the scale of eternity, this could be a very small blip on the radar. I mean, it is a very small blip on the radar. Everything is. Like I said, even a Googleplex years is a small blip. It's nothing. It's effectively zero compared to eternity. So it's kind of a subjective thing to say that it should have happened already. Maybe not. Maybe as these types of instances have cropped up throughout existence, it traditionally takes longer, way longer than, and maybe this will be relatively rapid compared to, I don't know. I have a theory that all holy books like Bible, Quran, from all religions, were the archons doing mind for sure. It very well could be. And there's elements and bits of truth in all of them. And then there also could be, for sure, deceit and manipulation to all of them, which I think it's a good idea to actually read these texts and see what we can extract and extrapolate, but without a blind faith in one. I mean, why the blind faith makes no sense. Why should you have blind faith in anything? It's so funny how everybody has gotten into this mindset of faith is such a good thing, man. His faith is so strong. What are you saying? What is faith? Faith is just saying, I'm going to believe it without any notion of reality or evidence. Why is that a cherished thing? Just take a step back and just look at that statement with logical eyes. Oh my God, he's got such strong faith that the sky is green. It's amazing. Isn't he amazing that he just has this incredible faith? What are we doing? It's like, how have we been bamboozled to think that this is a trait to be admired and revered? Jesus was just a person with a message. There are many versions of the Gateway tapes online. I would order them directly from Monroe and get the real deal, but they are pricey. The demiurge doesn't really exist. Oh, you think? No, you misunderstood me. I know Jesus is not master. What I'm saying is that he's the king of falsities. Got it. Okay. Got to end out, mate. How long until Isabella on? I'm in AU. Wait. Oh, Isabella is not coming on today. I'm sorry if you thought she was. I'm so sorry. No, I was saying, what did my thumbnail? I thought, give me a second. I thought I said I was reviewing. Hold on. I'm so sorry if you got confused. No, she's not coming on this live stream. This is just my review of the Isabella interview. Michael Stafford. Once I started separating myself from this avatar and seeing this is not my true self, then I started gaining a true understanding. This is dark, but there are those conspiracy theories about adrenochrome, yep, and how the elites consume that fear. I wonder if those sinister individuals are some of the agents of for sure they're the agents of the archons. I totally think that's the case. Yeah, these are the same people that I think have been commandeered by the system and are willing to play along because they get this particular end of the deal where they get to be empowered. It's better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. It's that. And it's probably not better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, but they're tricked into thinking so. Or, by comparison, they look at the deal that they have compared to the rest of us, and they're probably just as manipulated to some extent as the rest of us. Isabella Greene also talks about this idea that within the astral, there are people that raise up and elevate in the astral where they don't have to incarnate anymore, and they think they've elevated out of the system, and they're now guides. But again, they're also manipulated by the system to stay in and be agents of the system, agents of the archons as well. And I think that makes a lot of sense too. How do we defeat the demiurge? What if there was zero suffering on Earth? Would it lose its food source, or do we need way more people to become OBE travelers? I don't know the answer to this for sure, but my assumption is we can't defeat it. No, I don't think you can defeat the demiurge by eliminating suffering on Earth, because I think that's an impossible proposition because of the way that the system is set up. So it's, again, that's a trap if you're trying to fix the system from within, eliminate this thing or that thing, or go vegetarian or stuff like that. I'm not saying those things are wrong, but to think that will actually dismantle the system from within, I think, is again part of the trap. What I believe would do it would be effectively just people exiting the system when the time comes, exiting the system, not getting sucked back into the reincarnation loop. That's what it would be. So the real way, it's not to, I don't think you can actually stop the system from within the system. Like, you kind of can, probably by waking people up, but then the point is to wake them up so that when the time comes, they exit the system. And as people exit in this vast migration out, that would probably break it down. That's my guess right now. Religions are mostly emotional manipulation with fear-mongering and guilt-inducing to force people into submission to fake authorities running the matrix. Agreed. Through dark, I would venture a guess that you're on to something. Totally possible. You are eternal. There is no beginning and no end. You have always existed. There is no creator. No creator, but is there source that we are all a part of? And maybe there's multiple creators. But I mean, obviously, some things have been created. Maybe the Anunnaki created us. They manipulated our DNA to create us and left the earth and are still using us and have us enslaved. Yes. I mean, there's a lot to all of that for sure. Rich J Visuals says, what's up? What's up? What's up? Are you new to the channel? Have you been on a live stream before? Welcome. Please rewatch The Somber Sea. Explains a lot of how the demiurge came into being. Very informative. Okay. The Somber Sea. Let me add that to my list. The Somber Sea. Boo 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 boo. At the Somber Sea, the demiurge origins. Okay. Added to the list. According to the Gnostic test, the demiurge operates with a smaller, flawed layer of reality. Defeating him entirely would require the total dissolution of the physical universe, which is his domain. Retrocausality is like the law of cause and effect backwards through time. It's like the law of cause and effect. So reverse cause and effect or something. Okay. So then I think I did not understand what you're saying before correctly. Does anyone know if the higher self is inside or outside the matrix? No. Or maybe somebody knows in here. I would venture to say it's inside the matrix. Because when we hear the pre-birth stories, it feels like our consciousness in its entirety enters this system. But it's not within this body, would be my guess. Rich T Channel, Gnostic Jesus was a skeptic. I believe his thinking for yourself was core to his teaching. That's why they killed him for it, then changed his words. And yeah, very well could be. Got to catch up on recent videos, was gone for a couple of weeks. Oh, got you. You got to deal with the demiurge the way you would deal with a narcissist. Go no contact, not take them head on. Cut all connections and leave. There's no higher self. There is just you. You are perfect. You just don't know it. Okay. After death, you are at your most powerful, yet you're most vulnerable. The Gnostics knew they couldn't fight the demiurge and the system, only to recognize your spark and you are outside their reach, even though you are still living in the system. And when you die, exit out. Hi, what's up, Anonymous Void? So horrible to think, especially with the thousands of children that go missing every year. Gen H, responding to Gen H. Through dark, I would venture a guess that you're onto something totally possible. Okay. Insights with Tony in the house. The higher self is part of every one of us. Hey, what's up, Tony? Did you guys check out the interview I did with Insights with Tony? Let him know what you thought of that interview. I thought it was amazing. This is our home. We need to fight for it and make it what we... I'm not for exiting the system until we all can to awaken everyone. I believe it can be done. Those entities are afraid of our powers of connection with the real God of real. I believe you're right. Because why else for all the deception? Why else for all the trickery? Of course. And Baby Willow agree 100%. Tony, I love his videos. Tony is the man. Tony, you got some supporters in here. Hey, Tony, did you notice an influx of subs when I released the interview? Because the interview got quite a few views. Let me double check here. It was a really good interview. We discussed a lot of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, it's still growing. 8.4K, which is quite a lot for my channel. Hey, what's up, everyone? Yeah, Tony, how did that video do for you on your channel? I just realized we should have done a collaboration. I didn't. I just did that with Isabella's interview, but I didn't think of it. The highest part of our being is not separate. It's our ego that makes it seem that way. Got you. Tony is my guy. Definitely saw the interview. It was yeah, it was good, right? Tony, you got a lot of fans in here. Yes, it did. Yes, I did. Okay, good stuff. Insights with Tony. Have you seen the demiurge in your OBE? Goals to escape matrix after death will not return in any form. I got to reconnect with you again soon, Tony Jamali says. I haven't been very active in the ADA group or online these days. I don't know how you would do that. Have you tried talking about this stuff in real life? Most people seem to like the Matrix. You think? Our searching has led us here. Tony, why you block me on Facebook? Tony, have you blocked Matt Bingen on Facebook? Is that true? Insights with Tony. No, I haven't seen the demiurge. Quick question for you. Do you think this effed up that we're in was created by the demiurge or just high? Do you think that... I don't know for sure, but I'm leaning towards the hijacking as of now, because I feel like I've heard that from multiple people, and this links up with the prime Earth idea that Earth existed without any, and also to what Isabella Greene saw, like a perfect society, no food chain, no nothing. And so instead, this was commandeered and hijacked and then turned into what this is, as opposed to being constructed from the ground up. So that's kind of what my gut tells me too, but I don't know. Insights with Tony, peace and blessings to you, bro. Hope you're doing well. I'm not on Facebook, Tony says. I don't think he blocked you, Matt. That guy says he's blocked on Facebook every time. Does he really? I did not know that. Matt, have you been constantly saying that? Okay. I don't know what's going on. Insights with Tony, I like your style. Can definitely see the teacher in you. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Insights with Tony, man. People really had great things to say about you in the comments. I mean, hopefully you saw, but my bad, Raw. Tony, Insights with Tony, I see. Thanks for sharing. Let's say I see a negative entity during an OBE. Can I shoot it with a beam of love and transfigure it into a being of love? Thought forms are real objects in astral, I've heard. I don't know, but I know Tony like poked one before in one of his stories, but that's a question for Tony. Matt disagrees and says, no, he's never said that. But I mean, I don't remember Matt ever saying you blocked me on Facebook. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't really remember anybody ever saying that in my chats. So I don't know. I'm in my 30s, hopefully learn more truth over the next few decades, because AI seems like it's going to be the end of humanity. This place has the potential to be heaven on earth. Let's fight for it. You think? See, I think that's also, again, part of the trap. I don't know if... well, actually, okay. But do you think the way it is, or do you think it would need a return to whatever prime Earth was? Because that I can get behind. But with the way that I think it's set up now, the food chain being the biggest example, I don't think so. But Matt, you're getting slandered. Yeah, I've never heard Matt say that. So Mark Devlin always asked, even if there's a prime creation, where was the good God that allows the evil to take over? Well, Intuitive Underground has an interesting take on this, and the take is that it's not a all love necessarily. It's that when they try to remote view the God mind, they saw pure balance and indifference in a sense. Like, not the saying that's a bad thing, but that it's all things emanate from source, that both positive and negative. Therefore, it's sort of like this balance, and it doesn't have this overt agenda to make everything all love and light and positive. So it's sort of things will play out as they play out. In fact, that kind of makes sense to me too, just like, because if we are indeed part of source and part of God and part of the divine spark, we have the capacity for both of that, at least while we're incarnated here, I guess. So therefore, it would seem to make sense that if we're part of that whole equation, then the whole equation would be similar to us. What about the image you get when Isabella states yelled about the raptor around the earth? Image is way out. It is wild. My dad crossed over a couple of years ago. Please tell me that it's conscious and safe and that I'll see and connect. I mean, dude, I don't know. Oh, are you asking Tony? But listen. Let me tell you something. All our consciousnesses are safe because we're infinite. We're eternal. So if we get back in the system 100 times, 1,000 times, I'm not saying this is what we should be doing or want to be doing, we are safe. Right? Tony, am I right? Can somebody chime in on me with this? Eternal. That's what we got to recognize. I heard that they do that. If anyone can please tell me, I miss them more than anything. Is soul free? Thank you for this space. Good God, excuse me. I know what you meant. Yeah. I was talking about Tony Sayer. Oh. How can I always... Oh, you said Tony Sayers was blocking you? Okay. Oh, so it's the same thing. So I guess Tony Sayers maybe blocked you or something, or I don't know. Okay, my bad. I was wondering, did you start having weird dreams since you started questioning the Matrix? I heard from other people that the Matrix will attack you, especially when you try to wake up people. No, I haven't had particularly weird dreams, at least not yet. I've been having dreams. I've been remembering them more, but that's, I think, more a product of going to Monroe. This is Animal Planets. I'm leaning more towards hijacked as well. There's so much beauty in this world, and sometimes beautiful scenery will make you go, wow, my God. I refuse to think that I'm calling out to the demiurge. R. Brown, I would say more of a prison planet. Prime Earth, yes, that is what we fight for and is what I want to focus on in an interview. Yeah, 12 bets, hit me up. Wait, by the way, who said that they messaged me on Instagram and I didn't respond? I do see 2 messages in my request section and a couple more that I haven't read yet because I want to read them. I leave them unread until I'm ready to sit down and parse through the messages because I don't want to read them and forget. So anyways, if you're still there, let me know what your username is and I can look at it right now. I have the blueprint for Prime Earth. People just need to read it. Do you think what Isabel said that we are running out of time though? Yes and no. I believe that it will become, at the new system upgrade, maybe just like the last system upgrade, it gets harder and harder in a way, but I think it is effectively impossible to keep us imprisoned again forever, because forever is forever and ever and ever. Like I said, it's infinite. We can't be infinitely forever controlled. So it's maybe easier in some relative sense now, but it cannot, I just don't believe it can ever be an airtight system for eternity. That just can't, I just don't think that's a mathematical possibility. Could be wrong on that too, but it's that one seems super improbable to me. They want to upload our consciousness to data centers. Yeah, I believe that is correct. I think that's exactly where we're going. I think at some point they're going to be like, hey, this is the cure to all disease. This is the cure to everything, to struggles, to food, to poverty. We're going to all upload our consciousness into this amazing simulation. It's going to be a dream world, as we're going to enter into pure paradise. And that will be the selling point. People that are on their deathbeds are going to upload their consciousness. Oh my God, my loved one, everyone's going to be here. And it will probably, this is just off the top of my head, but it'll start out amazing. But then again, like stuff will start going bad in there, because again, the whole point will be to manipulate and to get us to feel a range of emotions to harvest that loosh. So I think that's kind of exactly how it will go. You know, yes, his consciousness is fine. No worries about that. Tony says, for you worried about your father, he said it's fine. I see your point. I mean, intuitive underground, that is correct. If allness exists, it's neither good nor bad. The idea of good and evil, therefore it's indifferent to our collective plight. Yes. It's nice for Tony. Thank you so much. I know you're busy. If you can please tell me, will I see him again? Thank you so much. I mean, yeah, and Tony, I'll let you answer that, but I mean, I think of course you will, because how could you not? He's infinite, just like you. What? Oh no, I know. We're all good here, just to learn. I know. It's all good. Thanks for the stream, brother. I'm locking out. Yeah, I'm about to clock out too. I've actually got to go play pickleball tonight, so I need to be taking off pretty soon, and my voice is starting to struggle. Please try to get Eric Dubé on. Yeah, but I need to reach out to him. He did comment on one of my videos, but I couldn't find him on Instagram. Yes, the newer simulation on Earth is going to be harder to escape, not to fear manga, but I believe so. Get Santos Bonacci from Santo Bonacci. Okay, let me write that down. Santo Bonacci. And what is that? Astrotheology. The grief doesn't stop. I can't believe he's not here. He was so funny and loving and gave away his money. Wow. What I wouldn't give to see him again. I'm so sorry. All overhype is real. It's a bundle of hacks and a ton of manipulation. Uploading of consciousness or something is way beyond this lifetime. I promise you. Have you heard of Nathaniel Gillis? He speaks on the archons manipulating this reality. I feel like I've got that on my list. Yep, he's on my list. Okay, what did you say he talks about? Archons. Okay, so let me put that in as notes. God, I have so much to review, which is a good thing. I'm about to log off, guys. They might try to divide the Love Loosh Farm from Fear Loosh Farm in separate simulations. Mr. Astrology. I feel like if everyone who is awake to the trap starts to withdraw their energy, we might destroy the system together. Yes, Nathaniel Gillis is amazing. His interviews are great. Mark Forever Conscious Research is on my list as well. Okay, guys. That's a wrap. Again, if you're on here and you haven't hit that like button, please do so. All the likes really, really help push the content. And so I'd really appreciate it if you guys wouldn't mind, as we close out, to quickly hit that like button as we make our way out. We got so many people on the stream, 74 right now, and we've only got 53 likes, I think. Yeah. So if you guys are on here and haven't hit that like button as we close out, I'd really, really appreciate it. But if you legit didn't like the stream, what can I say? Don't hit that like button, only if you really liked it. And that's all I got for you. Amazing. Oh, also, I put a post up for the members. I want to do our Google live stream, our Google chat soon, so we can get the members together and have our nice little discussion that I've talked about and promised. So hopefully we'll do that in the next 4 days, just waiting to get the responses on when a good date and time would be for everybody. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry, my phone is checking up. Thank you. Once you have your first OBE, it'll be clear. I agree. Great live stream. Have a good night. Thank you for streaming. Hit like. Yes, I appreciate that. Please hit the like button. Thanks again. Always a good time in these lives. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.